used to be with it. Then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. I want to talk to you about something.
Is it about a watermelon that's sitting between us?
I'll tell you about that later.
Well, okay. I'm confused about the watermelon sitting between us.
I'll tell you later. Right now, I want to talk to you about a movie starring Christopher Lloyd that features a vehicle that travels through more than just space.
My brain would say Back to the Future.
Hold on. I've changed my mind. I want to talk to you about a movie starring John Lithgow that has a lot of creature effects.
Cliffhanger.
Kill a few people, they call you a murderer.
The creature in Cliffhanger.
Sylvester Stallone, he's not a human being. He's
a specimen. He's not a creature.
a unit.
He is an absolute unit.
Harry and the Hendersons.
I've changed my mind again.
He's changed his mind again.
I want to talk to you about a movie where otherworldly villains hide in plain sight, and our hero is the only one who gains the ability to see them.
Oh, They Live.
Change my mind.
Oh, he's changed his mind.
I want to talk to you about a movie where aliens almost set off a nuclear war between the United States and the Soviet Union.
War Games? No. Oh, you said aliens, not an AI. Oh. Aliens almost set off a nuclear war. I'm drawing a blank on this one, I think.
That might have been a stretch. I was going for The Abyss.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Never would have got there.
I've changed my mind anyway.
Okay.
I would like to talk to you about a movie starring, well, co-starring, featuring Jeff Goldblum, where scientists play God.
Jurassic.
I've changed my mind. I want to talk to you about a cult classic that was a breakthrough role for one Clancy Brown.
I know he's in movies. He's in Earth 2.
He is in Earth 2.
What was his breakthrough role? Another blank.
I was going to go for Highlander on that one. He was the Kurgan. Oh. I'm a little disappointed. However, I've changed my mind for perhaps the final time.
Okay.
I want to talk to you about one of the most iconic movies of the 1980s starring one Peter Weller.
Robot Cop.
How would you feel if I only described one movie this whole time?
Shocked, appalled, delighted, and disgusted. Dilgusted?
Dilgusted. So you are dilgusted because apparently, like me until very recently, you have never watched The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
I have never watched The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. However, I am aware of its existence.
I had to put notes for this because it's everything I told you is true about this film. Every last bullet point.
What about the watermelon?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. Just promise me the inside of it is all watermelon.
I mean, so this is a conundrum because I purchased it and I've never cut into it.
Oh.
So I can promise you that to the best of my knowledge, this is only a watermelon.
Okay, I'm going to relax a little now knowing that it's not full of spiders or something. Well,
I bought it
so far
from a farm.
So far it's not full of spiders.
So far it's not full of spiders. Okay, so as you would expect, the film centers around one Dr. Buckaroo Banzai.
Yes.
So he is a physicist, a neurosurgeon, a test pilot, a rock star, and a crime fighter.
Is he the original Mary Sue?
So watching this movie, I watched it with my wife, and we were just like, he's the best man. Oh. He is the best man. Like, yes, he makes Mary Sue look like Mary Sue needs to play some catching up.
Wow.
Like, the movie boggles the mind. Okay, so it was written by one Earl Mac Rausch. His previous credit...
Singular?
Well, he has two.
Okay.
He co-wrote the musical New York, New York.
Okay.
And he co-wrote a horror film called A Stranger Is Watching. This was his first solo production.
I can see the path from
a musical to a horror
to
a genre-bending sci-fi action-adventure comedy romance.
That has a nuclear war and a robot and
aliens and it's
time
nuts.
time travel device.
It's actually so instead of the flux capacitor, it has the oscillation overthruster.
Oh,
It
yes.
predates Back to the Future.
Okay.
The oscillation overthruster doesn't look like the flux capacitor. However, a readout in the jet car that uses it is three-pronged. Like one,
Interesting.
Yeah. No, a lot of the things that we attribute to other films happen in Buckaroo first.
Oh, what year? You said 80s. Is it early 80s, mid 80s?
It's 80, 83, 84.
Okay.
It was pre-RoboCop, pre-Back to the Future, pre-Highlander. I mean, just about, I think just about, with the exception of maybe They Live, it predated everything else that we referenced.
Okay. Yeah, because honestly, I'm getting a bit of a 70s vibe out of it.
So the script was penned in the 70s. Yeah, so it has a very 70s feel. It pulls from a lot of different. So it was also the directorial debut of one W.D. Richter, who had previously only done writing. He worked on Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and then he actually won an Academy Award for a film called Brubaker. It was a Robert Redford film.
Does the WD stand for Watermelon Deliverer?
I'll tell you later.
No.
Okay, so Buckaroo has a slew of side characters that are part of his posse, who are also his band, the Hong Kong Cavaliers. Clancy Brown is among them. He's kind of their leader.
Okay.
And then he's got a couple other hangers-on, one of whom is named Perfect Tommy.
Is that ironic? No.
Man, the man is beautiful.
Okay.
He like when they introduced him as Perfect Tommy, I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah,
It's fine.
So in their own universe, in their lived-in space, there are Buckaroo Banzai and the Hong Kong Cavalier comic books and video games. They are so well known that they have their own comic books and video games in their own universe.
Wow.
And speaking of, I actually
This is wild.
So I actually did pick up some of the Buckaroo Banzai sequel and prequel comics. There was also there was a Marvel Comics run as well in the 80s that was just an adaptation of the film. No, this is like, you know how one could be late to the party?
Is that Perfect Tommy? Or is that...
That looks like that's Perfect Tommy, yeah, with the pop collar. That's pretty... although he's wearing a shirt, so I'm confused.
I don't know why I'm gravitating towards Perfect Tommy, but
I mean,
you hear Perfect Tommy, you just kind of want to know. You want to know.
So at one point they enter without spoiling too much of a plot, they enter a woman's prison to release the love interest.
Okay.
And the women in the prison all happen to know Tommy. They're all like, "Oh, hey, Tommy!" Hi. You just hear it in the background. It's like, "Huh." Like,
Wow.
The man is known
In prison.
in a woman's prison. Yeah.
In a woman's prison.
Yeah. At least
Interesting.
I assume it might actually just be county, but it all seems to be female prisoners.
Wow.
So, not featured in the theatrical cut, but there was a flashback that I've seen with one Jamie Lee Curtis playing
okay.
Buckaroo's mom. Now they cut out the subplot of the villain they were setting up for the sequel that never happened, who was the leader of the World Crime League named Hanoi Zan. So, from Hanoi, one would assume. And
yeah.
he leads the World Crime League, which presumably is a crime league that's global.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta really put some work into get named after an entire... That's a city, I assume?
Yeah, right? I think that's one of the... Is it... I remember it from video games about war.
Like,
So.
Imagine how much work you'd have to put in to be known as Baltimore Dave.
Right.
Or, like,
Yeah.
St. Louis Dave.
Right. It would take some doing.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think I'm known as, like, my county or my hometown. Or, like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've got
not on your street.
My
Not
street, yeah,
on
that's
your
exactly
street.
where I was going. So, now there were, included in the, maybe the anniversary Blu-ray, there was a, sort of a 25 minute documentary, which I've watched. This, by all rights, this should have been the best movie of the 80s.
Yeah.
It has everything, it's amazing, but they didn't know what to do with what they had. They were, like, you watch the interviews, the actors are like, we don't know what we're in. Like, they don't know how to describe the movie, they don't even know what they just shot. They're like, it's a comedy, it's a sci, like, they're struggling to explain this movie to you because they're like,
Yeah.
it's. And, like, they were getting constant notes from production, like Buckaroo. I mean, because he's a neurosurgeon and physicist, he wore glasses.
Slash Rockstar.
And they gave him red-framed glasses, and the producers were like, heroes don't wear red-framed glasses. Like, just really bizarre notes.
I get the feeling that Buckaroo Banzai can wear whatever colored lenses he wants.
Right. And just so we're clear, just in case his name wasn't evident, he had an American mom and a Japanese dad.
Okay.
So Buckaroo Banzai.
Okay.
And
that's Dr. Buckaroo Banzai.
Doctor
To you and me. I didn't call him...
physicist. So he starts off with them doing the test launch of the rocket car with the oscillation overthruster that he's late to because he's in the middle of brain surgery with his assistant surgeon, Jeff Goldblum's character.
Okay.
Who eventually gets dubbed New Jersey when he joins the Hong Kong Cavaliers because you get a nickname. Perfect Tommy, New Jersey.
How hard did he work to get all of New Jersey?
They asked where he was from.
Oh. Wow. Okay. A shortcut to getting at least the road.
Just where are you from? Oh, Maryland. All right, Maryland.
Maryland Dave.
Yeah.
Watch out.
So we later in flashbacks learn that his mentor tried to invent the oscillation overthruster with John Lithgow's character, Dr. It was like Lazaro, I think. And what it does is it punches through to the 8th dimension.
Oh.
So
We've skipped over
several. Yeah. A few that we can assume.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back changed.
As he would in the 8th dimension.
Yeah, so he gets a little stuck, like his head gets in, and the rest of him doesn't, and they have to physically pull him out of the hole to this tracks, right?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It
Okay.
all makes perfect scientific.
Perfect scientific.
As a junior physicist, rock star,
right?
surgeon,
Neurosurgeon, test pilot, crime fighter.
I totally understand exactly what you're saying.
Of course. So it turns out that the aliens from Planet 10, the Lectroids, imprisoned the criminal element, like the warfaring kind of element, in the 8th dimension, and John Lithgow comes out possessed by the Black Lectroid John Worfen. And off camera, in a way that's not really well explained, this is going to kind of be a pattern in this movie,
Okay.
a bunch of other ones escape physically, but are able to appear human to the rest of us. And that includes people like Christopher Lloyd's character, John Big Booty, John Littleberries, I forget. They're all, every Lectroid, every last one from both factions from Planet 10, John.
Okay.
All of them are named John. For reasons that are not perfectly clear. Again,
Yeah. I mean, it's a common name.
The Black Lectroids all appear as Caucasian men, and the Red Lectroids all appear as Jamaicans.
So random.
I'm not making any of this up. You understand? This is a thing that happened to me, and I was delighted I was confused.
Yeah, no, this sounds like if you have a young kid, like in the like 5 to 10 range,
Yeah.
and you're like, tell me your craziest idea for a story.
Right. So
It tracks for that. And maybe that's how it happened.
So after the test, the Hong Kong Cavaliers have a concert, and they put on this show, and he's playing the guitar, he's singing, he's playing a very small trumpet. He then switches to do a kind of a piano anthem, and stops mid-song because he could hear in the audience someone crying.
Yeah.
Is someone out there not having a good time? Somebody crying?
That tracks.
Because he's that in tune.
Yeah. What a sensitive
that in tune.
man.
Yes. And it turns out to be the female lead by the name of Penny, who he mistakes for someone named Peggy, and there's a whole plot around that. Yeah, she gets in prison, and because a gun goes off, and I don't want to take all the plot points. But,
Yeah, because I have to.
You have to see this movie,
Yeah.
like you immediately.
Yeah. Do you have it? Like, can I?
It's on Amazon.
Okay.
So you can stream it as soon as you are physically able.
Okay.
Again, the whole time I was just completely confused and delighted.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that I'm sure MST or Riff Tracks or whatever did it
Mystery
under.
Science Theater.
Yeah, Mystery Science Theater or Riff Tracks. I'm sure they might. I don't know if they would touch it because while it is something you could riff on, it's so good. Like it's not even so bad that it's a weird.
I've heard the Red Letter Media guys talk about that threshold.
Yeah.
That they can't cross if it has to be bad enough.
Right.
To fall into their realm of content.
It's not quite bad enough.
Okay.
I entertained the whole. I've already watched it a second time, not in preparation for this, just because I wanted
just for
to.
fun.
Yeah, because
Wow.
I was like, well, I got nothing else to do, so I'm going to watch Buckaroo again.
Okay. If I had to explain in the amount of detail you have done so, I'd have to watch it once and then a second time writing notes.
I haven't even gotten to Yo-Yo Industries and the stealth bomber that they're making that turns out to be the spaceship that they're trying to bust out all their people from the 8th dimension so that they can go back and conquer Planet 10. Buckaroo's on speed dial from the U.S. president, of course.
I'm thinking about modern shows and how they take the thread of an idea that might be an hour or maybe two's worth of content and stretch it into like a 13 episode season.
This is a season's worth of content.
You
or
have
more.
described to me at least 2 seasons
Yes.
of serialized television from
Yes.
the 1980s,
Yes.
22 to 24 episodes.
Yes.
And this is a 2-hour film?
Roughly, yeah.
Wow.
And they edited it down. They got rid of the flashbacks. They got rid of all the World Crime League references. And yeah, so you've got the different alien factions. You've got the president. You've got Buckaroo. You've got the crime fighting. You've got people hiding in plain sight. He gets his power to see them through a payphone or I don't know. He gets zapped.
Man.
I have been dying to do this episode because I haven't been able to talk to you about Buckaroo Banzai for like a month.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's burning. Like
I can confirm when we talk, he's like, we got to film soon because I have to talk to you about something.
We were talking after the Tooth and Nail episode. You brought up Driver 8 and their song Watermelon.
Oh.
And I was just like, I'll tell you later.
Something tells me that this is thematic to the movie.
So
I'm not the most observant cat. But something tells me.
Going back to the comment about the red glasses and production not wanting. So the actors started getting very frustrated on set with the notes and with kind of the confusion surrounding what they're doing. What is this scene? What is that scene? An actor brought in a watermelon and put it on set.
Why is there a watermelon there?
I'll tell you later.
And I believe Jeff Goldblum said, "Why is there a watermelon there?" And I believe it was Clancy Brown said, "I'll tell you later." Never come back to it.
Wow.
Never, ever explain the watermelon.
So, I'm Jeff Goldblum and you're Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
Okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're Zaddy. Way to go. The ladies love Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
I've never heard ladies swoon over... They should.
Yeah.
I've never heard them swoon over Clancy Brown.
Yeah. He's a handsome fellow.
He's a handsome fella.
Very,
Good actor.
very, very tall man.
Yeah. Loved him in Shawshank.
Yeah, he was in that.
Yeah. Earth 2, of course.
Yeah.
He's the Kurgan. I think he had some episodes of the Goldbergs.
Yeah, I've seen him in that. Yeah, you'll see him.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's a solid actor.
Yeah.
Should be a household name. I mean, he is in my household. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to say about Buckaroo Banzai other than please everyone watch this movie, and I am sorry I didn't see it until 2024. I messed up. Like, this should have been the greatest movie of my life. It's close. Like, if they had just done everything right instead of doing everything wrong, it would have been the best movie, and it would have launched a franchise. There would have been more movies, TV, video games, more comics than there are. I have thoughts about the comics, but I'll let everyone form their own opinions. But,
Fair enough.
they're more recent. They're 2009.
Okay.
A lot of time. 30 years had passed. More than 30 years had passed since the magic of Buckaroo, and I think it was not a cash grab, but it just didn't capture it for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But it's a testament then that there's a loyal fan base.
Well, Kevin Smith actually was working to produce a Buckaroo Banzai TV show in 2016, I think, and just as things do in Hollywood, kind of just fell apart. But yeah, this is still famously. Did you read or watch Ready Player One?
I saw the movie.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know if it came up in the movie, but in the book, Percival, when he goes to some costume party, dresses up as Buckaroo.
Okay.
And says it's his favorite character from his favorite movie. So it's still in the sci-fi piece that references all of our history. It gets a loving nod from the main character.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd have to go back and watch Ready Player One. It's kind of like almost like a fever dream. Like there's so much happening.
Yeah. And I know which scene it is. I mean, it's when he and Artemis meet up in the club and they kind of do the floaty dancey thing. But I don't know. I don't remember. Well, I hadn't seen Buckaroo yet. So, yeah. So that's all I have for you today.
Well, that and delicious watermelon that we can slice
So
up. And
I went to one of our local farms.
the
And
one between where you were and where I
yes,
am. Oh, okay.
that exact one. And I was wondering how to phrase I need a comically large watermelon. Because I wanted to be, okay, imagine a funny watermelon, double it. Like that's what I need. I need but I didn't have to ask because like there were watermelons and then there were a stack of those. I was like, oh, that's got to be between 15 and 20 pounds of watermelon. It is so heavy.
That is I watch you struggle carrying it, and
Yeah.
and you're not a weak man.
I'm not
You're not
a bodybuilder either.
You're not a Sylvester Stallone.
No.
But
Or a perfect Tommy for that matter.
yeah, but that just reminds me. I'm thinking of when Ron Swanson he wanted all the bacon.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the bacon and eggs you have.
Yeah.
You probably heard me say,
I want a lot.
What did I actually say? All the bacon and eggs. Yeah. No, it was very much that. Also, his theme song will be stuck in your head forever. Not a composer I knew, and I didn't have it in my notes. Not like a Howard Shore or John Williams, but the theme is finger popping and catchy.
All right.
And in the ever-wise words of Dr. Buckaroo Banzai himself, we will wrap up with this. Wherever you go, there you are.